Good morning and welcome to this session of the live virtual revisionary classes of the Board of Studies Academics of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So, this is a revisionary class, and the idea of the session, as already pointed out, is that we will only do problems and solving. The idea is to prepare you for the exam. So what I will be doing is I will not be covering in detail, but I will be giving you some inputs. And then I will be displaying a question on the screen. Now it is expected that you will answer. Please note it. I will not give the answers. Okay. I will not giving answers. Also, we will try to not ask out of this topic questions unless it's later on if we have time at the end. For example, Ms. Asa Sethi is asking example of any non-interest bearing amount received and held in trust. Maybe I will give it when I'm defining deposits. Filing of circular, it is written that file a copy of circular containing the statement of registrar. Statement of registrar within 30 days before date of issue. Date is we'll see. I will definitely take up this question because it has relevance for our subject. But at the same time, what is expected from you is not only asking question, because at this stage in your preparation, my dear friend, you are still asking question. I am worried. You should be ready to give answers in the examination. Don't mistake me. Asking question is important. Such classes were conducted. And again, remember, this is an exam-oriented session. So, your question may not be relevant from exam point of view. Who will be the judge? I will be the judge. I will decide whether your question is relevant or not. Okay. That way, anywhere in the syllabus, question can come. But people like me who have written the exam and cleared, we know how to prepare. If you trust us, we will give you that approaches. But if you don't trust me and you think everything, if you study, you will get full marks, do it. Every nook and corner, I'm having doubts, sir. It has to be clarified. Only then I'll be prepared for the exam. Then you will never be able to write the exam. Because your doubt will always be there. There will be no end to your doubts, no end to your issues. Please understand it in the right spirit. Whereas intelligent student, what they will do now, they will go through MTP, RTP, they'll go through the syllabus, they will see the question papers of the past 10 or 15 sessions, see where the depth of questions are coming, prepare that well, go there, write the exam clear. As simple as that. Instead, you are making it very complicated for yourself by reading everything, getting down. See, such depth knowledge can come later. At this stage, you are preparing for the exam. So their institute is interested in testing you on certain areas. That is very apparent in the question papers. See, this is being given in your interest. Please don't mistake me. At this stage is a revisionary class. So if you keep on telling I can only ask questions, in the exam they don't want your question. They want answers. So today we will be working out problems. I want answers. At the end of the session, see, please, like Astaji did, please post your doubts because this is also doubt clearing session. But the fag end of the session, I will take up doubts and clarify. If in case I am unable to answer your doubt now, I will send the reply to the Board of Studies. They will share it with you. Okay. So with this and without much ado, let us get into the concept of acceptance of deposits of companies. In this topic, which is important, like that we have to see, which is important, meaning which type of area has been frequently tested. I find definition of deposit is very important. Definition of deposit, wherein only Asta has asked a question. Okay. Definition of deposit, very important. Similarly, acceptance of deposit from members. See, she is asking a question on procedure, which I'm not covering today, but since she has asked, I will cover that also. Such doubts can be clarified. Not frequently tested. Not frequently tested. Definition of deposit, if you don't know, you are in trouble. Okay. Now, acceptance of deposits from public, repayment of deposits, penalties, etc. Let us see definition of deposit first. Hmm? There are two types of deposits, secured deposit, unsecured. When we come to secured deposits, please remember the company has to create a charge on assets. More about it later. On creation of charge, rules relating to creation of charge, etc. Now we come to definition of deposit. See, the Companies Act 2013 is a messy law. Messy in the sense, same term will be defined in two places. So it is defined in the Act also, it is defined in the rules also. But by and large, the same. Okay. In the Act, they give only broad definition. What do they say? According to Section 231, deposit includes any receipt of money by way of deposit or loan, but does not include such categories of amount. So, smart student should be more worried about what is not a deposit. That's all they are saying, any receipt of money. So, any amount received by the company by way of deposit or loan, which means any income like interest, that won't be deposit, yeah. Sale won't be deposit, yeah. Only it should be received by way of deposit or loan or in any other form. Deposit or loan in any other form. Whatever name you call it. It is a deposit, which means that if a company accepts any amount by way of loan or deposit, straight away the law will apply to them. If they are not an eligible company, penalty. If they are an eligible company, they have to go through the procedure of issuing a statutory advertisement, etc., etc., etc. So if they don't do that, penalty. Therefore, it is very important for you to know what are those items that are not deposit. Certain items are very simple. I'm going to go a little fast. See, any amount received from central government, state government, blah, blah, blah. Suppose the government is giving it to you straight away exempted plus. Are you able to understand? Straight away government is giving you here. How can that be treated as deposit under the law? So CG, SG, or if it is guaranteed by CG or SG, local authority, or a statutory authority constituted under an act. Don't ask for example for all this, yeah. By knowing that example, you won't get one more mark in the exam. You understand? See, like that depth knowledge, if you want to acquire in the subject, it's too late in the day for that. You should be more worried about clearing the exam. After that, you get doctorate in the subject also, who cares? Okay. Maybe you should do doctorate only in accepted deposits. Like that. Okay. Then you can know all these things. So, a statutory authority, for example, Insurance Regulation Development Authority, IRDA. Like that, we can give 100 examples. But exam oriented is all I'm humbly submitting. Similarly, from a foreign government, foreign or international bank, etc., etc. Why I'm saying etc., etc., from exam point of view, they are not going to ask this. This is too simple. So where they will ask only from an area which is slightly complicated, where there can be doubt, there we have to hit as a loan or facility from any banking company. So when your banking company is giving a loan, obviously exempted. State Bank of India. Similarly, PFIs exempted. These are all obvious exemptions. These are all obvious exemptions. Against issue of commercial paper, there is a separate guideline issued by the RBI by which large corporates only can issue CP. CP value will be very, very high. For commercial paper, it will be minimum 1 crore, 2 crores like that, one paper. Commercial paper is mainly meant for short-term money requirement. So that is a separate money market where commercial papers are bought and sold by banks, which you will study in finance. When you come to finance, bond valuation, there you will study. Abhito, what you should understand, commercial paper exempted. That's all. Enough. Buy a company from another company. What does that mean? Intercorporate deposits, straight away exempted. AB Limited is giving a loan to BC Limited, not a deposit. Straight away. Mark, note it somewhere. You clear it immediately. Pursuant to an offer, are you able to understand? ICDs, intercorporate deposits, not, though there you might call it deposit, etc., blah, blah, is still, it is not a deposit under the rules. Okay. So within companies, you can give and take. Simple, sir. You are an auditor, or madam, as the case may be. You are an auditor. You are going through the balance sheet of a company. Look at the liability side. Keep on checking off. Bank loan, not a deposit. VFI loan, not a deposit. Amount received from other companies, not a deposit. Like that. Finally, what is unticked item? You have to see whether it will come under any of these exemptions. Okay. Share application money for allotment of securities. So you have received money from a company, not as loan, but as share application. Some persons have given you money, individuals have given you money for a share application money. So long as such amount is appropriated only against the amount due on allotment. We'll come to a problem later when this has to be applied. If it is, it cannot be adjusted. Okay. Say, for example, if an amount is due from him, at the time of repaying the allotment money, you cannot reduce it and pay. Suppose you're not allotting the share, you have to refund it within 15 days. Not here. Allotment may. That chapter is studied. Prospectus and allotment. Where you are not allotting within 15 days, refund the money. With the interest, if it goes beyond 15 days, with the interest. So you have to see within 60 days, you have to make the allotment. Not here. It is there in prospectus and allotment of securities. So allotment, if you're keeping share allotment money, application money, pending allotment, 60 days you have to make the allotment, boss. If you don't do it, refund. If not refunded, penalty under that section. Here it will become deposit. So penalty here also. Double penalty there for not repaying. Here, beyond that period of 60 days, it will become deposit. It will no longer enjoy the exemption. Very important. I cannot overstress the importance of the next item, sir. I cannot overstress the importance. From a person who, you have to remember it in this manner. Don't straight away mug it up as there was amount received from director exempted. No. It is very important when he became director. From a person who, at the time of receipt of the amount, was a director of the company or a relative of the director of the private company. So, public company, only director money is exempted. Only in private company, relative also can be considered. Make a note of all this. You might think this is all easy. I know everything. Yes, you know everything. In the exam, you will forget. Don't do it. Okay? So make a note, small. Your note should now be your source of preparation. No longer material. Institute material. At this stage, for September exam, you're still reading Debenture. By now, you should have extracted it in points. And those points should be in a notebook. Only that notebook you should be using. Or maybe my notes, which you would have downloaded earlier. Many students have downloaded my notes and they found it very useful. Okay? Because if you read the entire material, you start now, God save you. At this stage now, we are now in August, July, August, September May exam. So now you should have notes. If you don't have notes, quickly prepare it. So what is the salient point here? Person should have been director when the amount was received. Public company directors alone exempt. Private company relative also included. Also very important. The director or relative of the company should furnish to the company a declaration that he has not given this amount by borrowing or accepting loans or deposits. If he gives a false declaration, he will be punished. So don't ask that next question. What happens if he gives false? Should not give. That's all. So such questions are not relevant. If you see me a little bit tough, it is because I want to be tough. This is not the stage for that type of esoteric arguments, questions and all that. Are you serious about clearing the exam? Then you will get benefit. But if you want to ask esoteric questions, argumentative issues, boss, welcome, boss. You do it. Clearing the exam is more important for me. Not me clearing. I've already cleared. You have to clear. So, 3 points. Person should have been a director at the time of giving of the money. If it is a private company, relative also included, but public company serve director alone. Lastly, person should give a declaration that it was not given out of loan or accepting of deposits. Right, sir? With this background, answer these questions. Now you have to answer. I'm not going to, because I don't know the answer. You are all brilliant. You give me the answer. I don't know. I know you know I'm a Buddha. I don't know anything. You give me the answer, boss. I want answers either in the chat or I will now go and I will log on to that query pad. So both on query pad also you can give. Here also you can give. Wherever you want, you can give. I'm waiting for the answer. So NOP Limited has accepted a loan of 5 crore from Mr. P. Kishore, director. At the time of giving, he was a director, important. And once again, I'm just, yes. There is a query pad. In case you are not able to access, don't worry. Don't keep putting message and all. You directly give in the chat box or in the query pad. Whatever is convenient for you, do it. I will be seeing both. And the loan was to be repaid after 24 months. Company in its books of account records the receipt as a loan and non-current liabilities. Correct. That's what I said. You look at the balance sheet, current, non-current, because it is more than 12 months, non-current liabilities. Correctly classified. The time of advancing loan, Mr. P. Kishore affirms in writing that such amount is not being given out of funds, blah, blah, blah. With reference to the loan advanced by Mr. P. Kishore, state whether the same is to be classified as deposits or not. I want answers, brothers. See, the same NOP will come later. Then I see I'm getting only one response. I'm very unhappy. I'm very unhappy because I want more people responding. You be serious about this. Okay. So now, beautiful. But friends, I appreciate, see, this type of answer, what Mr. Manivannan has given is good enough for this session. But is it good for the exam? How you should write? This question could carry 3 marks. For 3 marks, see, correct. Manivannan sir, you are absolutely correct. How you should write, no? Now going to teach you a method of writing answer, complete answers. See, with reference to the loan advanced by Mr. P. Kishore, state whether the same is to be classified. Suppose a student writes, amount loan advanced by Mr. P. Kishore is not a deposit. Should he be given full marks? I'm sorry, no. Why? The answer is correct, yeah. Still you won't get. Because the structure. And today, if you don't like what I'm saying also, you have to accept it. This is the structure that is expected by the institute. Or should be expected by the paper character. You see, any professional is expected to do this. Why? Are you Supreme Court judge? One line, even Supreme Court judge will give a reasoning. You understand? Now, it would be nice if you can quote the rule number. Please go through the time that you're spending asking questions from remote areas, doubts and all that. Use in trying to remember the definition of deposit classes. You understand? That time is better effectively used because in the exam you get marks. So 21C8. See 21C. Correct. All of you are given the right answer. I'm so happy for you. Please continue the support till the very end of the session. Please keep giving answers. Don't get bored. Don't get bored. This is not the time to get bored. If you want to become CA, you cannot get bored. Right. So, how you should write? First, you should write one paragraph. See, ideally, I will want a structure of four steps. But for 3 marks, no need to write everything. But if it is a larger question, 4 marks, 5 marks, longer answer, then one line. NOP Limited has accepted a loan of rupees 5 crore from Mr. P. Kishore, who was a director at the time when the loan was given. Repayment after 24 months is not relevant for this question. Are you able to understand? Classification as non-current liability, not relevant. They will give you a lot of irrelevant information. Don't get backtracked. They want you to get sidetracked. There are some students who will get sidetracked by all this. These are the fellows who read everything and ask detailed doubts. No, they will only get sidetracked. Whereas clear student will know director loan. Was a director at the time of giving of the loan. So then you write 21C3, C7. What does it say? Any amount received or loan received from a person who at the time of receipt of the amount was a director of the company. As NOP Limited is a public company, any amount received from a director or a person who at the time was a director is not a deposit. Therefore, it is not a deposit. I know this sounds silly. You might even say, don't I know, sir? I know how to write like that. Correct. But I have corrected so many papers where people write one-liners and they expect 3 marks. Because I'll give you 1 mark. I can't give you 3. Please understand. Or even 1.5 marks I'll give you, but not 3. Which means you understand now how those 45s and 46s are coming. Where you need 50 plus, you go to 45, 46. This is the difference between the 60 plus and the 45 to 50. I'm being very blunt today. Even if you're going to get angry with me, please be angry. Even if you're going to say faculty was rude, faculty was giving negative comment, I have no problem. Because I'm a coach. You have to go and clear that exam there. Got it? So please listen to me without anger. And try to learn what I'm saying and write it. Of course, you know the man who's speaking to you is an all India rank holder 4 times. Not that makes me great. But I'm telling this is how I prepared. Not by reading everything, becoming authority on the subject. Later, I became authority as a teacher. But at the time of studentship, your goal is clearing the exam. Okay. Chalo, now you give the answer for this. See, one ingredient is missing. What is that? I mean, don't waste your time writing out full answers and all in the chat. Try to understand what I'm expecting from you. If possible, try to write 2 or 3 answers. Write, click. Write, not tell, not ask doubt. That and all anybody can do. Only student who clears the exam will have the capability to write answers in the exam. Write it. Writing practice is needed. Okay, you have to write the answer, see the correct answer in the MTP or guideline answer, see where you're going wrong. This is the only way you'll clear. Okay. So don't get answer. Okay, what is that one ingredient which is missing here? Why giver's loan will be treated as a deposit? Only one reason. Otherwise, it will be exempted. It will not be a deposit. But only one reason why it will not be. Why? Right. Tanu Vishwakarma gives the correct answer. Declaration in writing is not given. That's all. But for this answer also, you have to write 21C8. You got it? You have to write it. So if you write simply baldly, the amount will be treated as a deposit because he has not given declaration. You will get out of 3, 1.5, 1. But if you write the provision, then the reasoning, right? They give you one more question. If Mr. Giver had given the money out of funds borrowed, then also it will be not a deposit. Okay. That is why he is not giving declaration. Yeah. See, these are all practical issues. Believe me, most practitioners, papers are set in the exam by practitioners, not by professors in college who may not know the realities of business. Okay. These are set by people like me who actually practice. Very good, sir. But you are trying to reduce everything in one line, sir. Cut it into different lines and write in simple English. Good. I'm very happy that you are attempting it, but paragraph wise. Distinctly, there should be one paragraph, facts, another paragraph, section. Write the section or write the law. It can be in your own words. Before you ask the question, I'm telling you. But how much own words? You cannot write anything you want and say it's own words. So at the time of receipt of the amount is a very crucial point that should figure in your answer. Okay. If you write amount received from director, not a deposit, that is BCom level answer. Okay. Whereas if you write any amount received from a person who at the time of receipt of the amount was the director of the company, the examiner will straight away give you 2 marks. Straight away. Two out of 3. Then if your conclusion is also correct, 2.5, he'll be tempted to give you 3. Think like that. So in the case of application money, 60 days and all I told you now. If such refund is not made within 15 days of application receipt, amount shall be treated as deposit under these rules. Similarly, bonds or debentures which are secured on first charge of assets. Secured debentures, they are not deposits. Because secured debentures are covered in another topic which you studied, share capital and debentures. There you debentures ka provision hai, separate hai. Therefore, they are not putting it here as deposit. That's all. Why cover here when I'm catching you there? Non-convertible debenture not constituting a charge on the assets of the company and listed on a recognized stock exchange. This is the only solution most company secretaries know. The minute you go to him, he'll say, sir, if you want to give that loan, please take it as non-convertible debenture. Suppose you can't make that man a director. See, first level solution, they'll say, we want to take 2 crore loan from somebody, can I take? First level, we'll say, why don't you bring him as a non-executive director? Thereafter, let him give the loan. It will not be a deposit. Next step, we will say, it's not possible, sir, blah, blah. Next step, we will only go for non-convertible debenture. Instead of giving as a loan, let him invest in your debentures, non-convertible debenture. Okay. But provided for NCD, it should be a listed company on a recognized stock exchange. Please note it, your honors. Only for listed company, this is available. For unlisted company, what to do? Nothing. Okay. From an employee of the company, not exceeding his annual salary under a contract of employment with the company. Again, that deposit should not bear any interest. Got it? In other words, you should not take deposits from your employees to pay interest. No. Idea is, as part of his employment contract, he has to pay certain amount as a deposit. Some positions you can take, not always. Why would he give? If it is a cashier, post of cashier, then we may have to take, because he's going to handle cash, check signing capability. Then we might ask for a deposit. Okay. Point very important to be noted. It should not exceed his annual salary. So he should be an employee under a contract of employment. The amount received from him should not exceed his annual salary. Got it? Now we come to Astaji's question. Non-interest bearing amount held interest. See, this is an omnibus point where many times company will receive amount which it does not belong to it. But because of certain peculiar circumstances, you have to hold it in your account. I'll give you 2 examples. One, amount held in trust. I'll give an example. Easy. Astaji, listen to me. It is a practical example, exam point of view waste, but I'm still, since you asked it out, I'm giving it to you. See, you are a bank, you are MNC Limited. The bank, you are banking with HSBC. One of the beautifully efficient person in that bank, what they did, instead of crediting somebody's account, they credited your account. This has happened regularly with Canara Bank. Canara Bank loves to do it. They will take your amount, the check will come, superbly that fellow will credit X account. Or superbly they will credit your account. So now think about it. MNC Limited, suddenly one credit is coming, 10 lakhs. Even for 48 hours, you're holding it means it is held in trust. It doesn't belong to you. Got it? I hope you understood. It doesn't belong to you. You are holding it in trust. Even for 48 hours, if you hold it, you are holding it in trust. And if you go to Canara Bank, they won't, their first thing is they are not interested in talking to you. They won't talk to you. So minimum it will take you 15 days before those idiots understand the mistake. Also, they have to locate the other party now. Minimum what this donkey should do is take it out of your account and put it in suspense account. Okay, debit, sundry debtors account. Okay. But for that also, those donkeys will take easily 15 days. I'm sorry to say this, personal experience. Many public sector banks do this. So during that time, when that money is lying in your bank, and let us say 31st March it is lying in the balance sheet where you will disclose it. Current liability. But you will clearly give a note. This is an amount wrongly credited by bank, which is a non-interest bearing amount held in trust. One example. Another example. Asta, since you are asking, I'm giving you. Think about it. It is not in your syllabus. Later on, when we come to final, you will study mergers and acquisitions, especially takeover bid. Now, in a takeover bid, what I'm doing now, I am the taking over company. I have to acquire all the shares of the existing shareholders fully. Now, once if 9/10 agree, I'm entitled and bound to take it from everybody. Now, what I will do is, I don't know who these fellows are. I don't know. They are this useless fellows. So what I will do, I will clearly prepare an instrument of transfer, sign both as transferor and transferee, and I will, along with the money, I will send it to the company. Now the company has to hold it in trust. Obviously, no interest for on behalf of the shareholders. Later on, if any of those shareholders see, I am the taking over company, from all the promoters, etc., etc., I've taken. There are some shareholders whose first name and address is there, but that fellow is not there. I'm going to Moradabad and saying he's not there. Why should I bother? So what I do, I transfer it in. So all the shares will be transferred to me. The money that I am giving will be held by the company, the acquired company, in the bank, in the separate bank account, as a non-interest bearing amount held in trust. Madam, you asked me, I'm giving you 2 examples. Are you happy? Please confirm whether I have answered your question. The other procedural question, I'll answer it later. No. Okay. But this is directly in my area. I'm now covering it. Are you happy, Astaji? But from exam point of view, zilch value. Seriously, Asta, you asked a question, you please confirm whether I have answered or not. Okay. Okay, sir. She's getting upset. No problem. See, knowledge is one thing, clearing exam is another. Both are important. Please understand this, my dear children. Please understand it. Acquiring knowledge, yes, important. Clearing exam, not necessarily the same. If only knowledgeable people are to clear the exam, why the results are so bad? If Buddhu like me can clear the exam, how think like that? Smart and intelligent people are not able to clear. But fools like me are clearing with rank. No, because there is a method. That method I'm teaching you. Learn it. If you are smart, learn it. Don't get angry with me. Rather, learn it. Okay. Wood Limited has received 4 lakhs as non-interest bearing security deposit in a contract of employment from its employee, Mr. Cotton. Names and all sometimes will be very funny. Mr. Cotton draws an annual salary of 3,85,000. Can you give answer? No, in this session, you give one line answer. No problem. But in the exam, you should not write one line. That's all I'm saying. Don't mistake. Because if you start writing answers and all, there won't be time. And I think many of you are using the internet connection is not good. So it also doesn't come out correctly when you type it out. Answer. Think like I'm the Betal. You are all Vikram. Betal only can ask question. Vikram should not ask question. वेताल का सवाल. Mr. Pawan, good morning. Give answer. Give answer. You have received 4 lakhs as non-interest bearing from a contract. Contract. Mr. Cotton draws an annual salary of 3 lakh 85. Any other answers? Pooja has given an answer, but that must be for the earlier question. I will ignore it. Let us go with, start with Mr. Manivannan. Yes, it is a deposit. Correct. Since the money exceeding his annual salary. Correct. Not a deposit. It is a deposit, Mr. Harshada. See, Ms. Harshada, you got your answer. See, you have got the logic correct. Amount exceeds employee's annual salary. Therefore, it is a deposit. See, if you want to enjoy the exemption, then the amount received should not exceed the amount of annual salary. Pooja ji, I'll give you one small nuance. You have written a sentence like this: because his salary is less than the amount paid by Mr. Cotton. Whereas Sinchana Shetty has written, amount received by the company exceeds his annual salary. Both are correct in English meaning wise. But if I am a puristic character, I'm an idiot who goes purely by the law. I will see what is given here from an employee of the company not exceeding his annual salary. So let us see what Sinchana has given. See, Sinchana Shetty, amount received by the company exceeds. You might think it's a different. I would humbly suggest you write the amount received exceeds the annual salary rather than salary is less than. Both are correct in English, but small differences. You know why the exam will think like that? Student has not read the original section. Like that, they see, think about it, pass. Do they want you to pass? They want you to fail. Assume that. This is not university exam where we want literacy levels, where we want to clear more and more people, create literacy records for the state. No, sorry. Our goal is not that. Our goal is to be fair. Our goal is to ensure that you are fit and proper person to become a member of our institute. And this is the middle step there. You are in the midway of your journey to becoming a intermediate. Therefore, we are not expecting you at a higher level when you come to final. Here, we are expecting you at a certain level. That level also we expect a little bit of clarity of thinking, clarity in writing, verbalization, ability to convert thoughts into grammatically correct English words or grammatically correct Hindi words. Even in Hindi, fluency is needed here. Assuming a person writes in Hindi also, verbalization problem will be there. Babba in English will be Babba in Hindi also. Your clarity should be there. Please note. I know Pooja will get angry because I'm saying, so what, sir? I said less than, you are telling small difference, half mark. Don't lose. Correct. Kushil Gupta writes correctly. Thank you. Beautiful. See, Pooja's answer is correct. I'm not talking about, see, think about, you are all, I'm sure, 100% everybody here is a fan of cricket. Okay. So think about it, boss. It's a 20 over match, man. You have to, run rate should be there, yeah. Every ball you should score, ma. You can't put docker. You can't just put docker and go. You have to score minimum 2 marks. Ideally boundary, sixer. Every question you have to write. You can't miss out any question. And in every question you have to get 2 marks, 4 marks, 6 marks. I mean, whatever. Think like that. Okay. We no more having the luxury of regular classes where you can ask esoteric questions, argumentative question and all. Answer. This is a very omnibus. Till now, they have not asked any question. Could ask. See, any amount received in the course of the business of the company or for the purpose of the business of the company as an advance for supply of goods or provision of services. So, advance for supply of goods, very important. Okay. Accounted for in any manner whatsoever. Also, as advance in connection with consideration for an immovable property. So, I could set a question which could be like so and so company was selling its property. The buyer, the registration was fixed on such and such a day. The buyer has advanced 50 lakhs as an advance. Will this be a deposit? That's all. Okay. Now, very important, where it is for supply of goods or services, there should be supply within 365 days. The amount should be appropriated against the supply within 365 days. But suppose there is any dispute, legal proceeding, 365 days will not apply. Disputed, then within 365 days. In other words, you can't take a loan and classify it as loans for supply of goods. In which case, within 365 days, you should get the goods. Otherwise, it will be treated as deposits. Got it? But see, do you notice one thing? Supply of goods only they give this condition. For immovable property, they don't. Because there will be other evidences which we can find out. 1, 2, sometimes it may be necessary to refund the deposit also. So you cannot say you should only sell the property. No. I may decide not to sell. I might refund the advance. Not a problem. But for supply of goods, no. A security deposit for performance of contract. So you are hiring a contractor for a construction project. So you can ask him to deposit EMD, earnest money deposit, EMD. It's quite normal. All construction companies, large contracts, we ask for EMD. Okay. That will not be treated as a deposit. Long-term projects for supply of goods. Okay. As an advance towards consideration for providing future services. This is in service industry. Here it is advance for supply of goods or provision of supplies. Advance towards consideration providing future services in the form of a warranty or maintenance contract. Okay. So when I purchased my car, I paid extra. I paid 2 lakh extra because I got a warranty for extended warranty. So sorry, I paid 45,000 rupees for the extended warranty. Okay. So that amount, they can't take it to the, see, think about it. You are all going to become chartered accountant. That 45,000 straight away, can the company take it to the income? No. Only to the extent it pertains to current year, they can take. Balance will be treated as current or non-current liability. And I will be showing it to the balance sheet. But since it is received as consideration for providing future services, not covered. Okay. So all these are there. You cannot refund it. But if it becomes refundable due to reasons that the company does not have necessary permission, etc., then it will not be a deposit. Then the amount received shall be deemed to be a deposit under these rules. Okay. The above amount shall be deemed to be deposit on the expiry of 15 days from the date they become due for refund. Okay. For A, B, and D. For A, B, and D. Okay. In these three cases, if the amount received becomes refundable due to the reason that the company does not have necessary permission on it. Otherwise, if I refund it, no problem. But for this reason, I should not. Amount received from promoters of the company. Promoters of the company as unsecured loan. Now, for enjoying this exemption, you have to satisfy certain criteria. First criteria, the loan should be given subject to the fulfillment of, the loan should be brought in because of the stipulation imposed by the lending institutions. So promoters are giving unsecured loan. The loan is brought in because of stipulation imposed by lending institution, not voluntarily. The lending institution is giving, financial institution is insisting on the promoters to contribute. Loan is provided by the promoters themselves or by their relatives or by both. And the amount, that exemption will be available only till the loans of the financial institution are repaid and not thereafter. So three conditions are to be satisfied. Nidhi company, whatever they get, not a deposit, because Nidhis are controlled. By way of subscription for CHIT, collective investment scheme, that is mutual funds, portfolio management schemes and all that, provided they are coming under the SEBI guidelines. 25 lakhs or more by a startup company by way of convertible note, repayable within a period not exceeding 10 years. So, in a single tranche from a person. So, idea is, suppose some promoter, instead of giving a stake, he is giving a convertible note. Simple, sir. I am an angel investor. I don't have confidence in the startup, but I want to give money. So I give them 20 lakhs and say, boss, I initially give it as a loan. It's a convertible note, promissory note, but convertible note repayable within a period not exceeding 10 years. Convertible note. This means anytime I have a put option, I can come to you and say, please give me the shares, you have to give the shares. So if they are desperately in need of money, they may take. Okay, but rare. I've never seen it in real life. No, either it's investment or I never rarely see. Idea is to protect startup promoters who might give some loan. Again, 25 lakhs is nowhere enough for them. These people are all startup people. They want crores and crores of money to waste. Meaning 25 lakhs and all, they laugh at you and go. Because in 1 month salary, that fellow will take it off. By a company from funds registered with SEBI in accordance with regulation, that is mutual funds are exempted. So now we come to one more question. You can kindly answer. See, I shouldn't even be teaching you anything. I should be only asking you questions. And of course, giving you the answers. Don't do it. Yes, sir. I need answers. From my long experience in teaching, from 1992, I have found students are very good at asking questions. All complicated questions they will ask. But when it comes to answers, the promoters of J Limited contributed in the shape of unsecured loan to the company. So first criteria satisfied, unsecured loan. Promoters are giving in fulfillment of the margin money requirements stipulated by State Industries Development Corporation Limited. No such company is there. Okay. CITCO is there, but not SIDCL. Small Industries Development Corporation is there. State Industries is not. For granting loan, see that SIDCL has given a loan. Some problem, the project cost is overrun. So they are now insisting, you want additional loan, you bring. Promoters, you bring unsecured loan. On the fulfillment of that margin money requirement, they are bringing in. See, it is a project overrun. Project would have been 40 crore. Now, because of these fellows, delay, inflation, etc., overrun becoming 50 crore. So for 40 crores, they gave 10, 25%. Now the 6CL is coming, come on, you want 10 crore from us, bring 2.5 crore. So that money they are bringing as unsecured loan. Just giving example. Whether this unsecured loan will be regarded as what will your answer be in case the entire loan is repaid? Let us see the answers. Correct. See, again, friends, what I am insisting is, please, you have to write this. You have to write this, and then write the answer. Marks are given for this. Okay. not for writing one-line answer. In case that loan is repaid, then it is. Pavanji, you are put as per section 73. Why? What is 73 doing here? 73 is the omnibus section. 73 and 76 are basic sections. You should rather, my humble suggestion to you, sir, I know you are a brilliant person. Just listen to me. You have to quote Rule 2.1 of the deposit rules, which is this. You should quote this. Rule 2.1 of the, if you don't know the exact, you can say Rule 2.1c. If you don't know the exact number, no problem. You have to write this. Then you have to say, in view of the above, the amount brought in by the promoters of the limited. It's not. So you also can write such exemption available only till the loans. Therefore, in case the loan is repaid, the amount will be treated as a deposit. Smartly, what we will do, before the loan is repaid, we will convert this loan into shares. We will allot shares to the promoter. Smartly, so that you don't get into this problem. Correct. Rule 2.1c. I don't know where. See, 73 is the basic section. Instead of saying 73, you can as well say under the Companies Act 2013, like that. Correct. Slowly, you are all getting the hang of writing answers in the way Institute is expecting. Good show. Good show. Okay. Comment whether the following are deposits. See, this is an exam question. This is an exam question. Actually, the answer is there in the question. Yeah, the answer is there in the question because they have exactly reproduced the provision. Issue of non-contribution not considering charge in the listed on the recognized tax as per applicable. Everything is covered. Okay. Exactly what is given in the not considering charge in the listed on recognized. Okay. I'm sorry to use this word. It may sound a little colloquial, but they call this as ladder. See, if you're getting such a question in the exam, you should say hallelujah and answer. Because straight away they're giving it. Again, you should elaborate a little. You rewrite what is there in the question and say, therefore, it is not a deposit. That's all. See, my reading of the past question papers and generally is student who is reasonably well prepared, got clarity with clear. Student who is over confused, asking doubt, not getting satisfied, find it difficult. This is my conclusion. Bring more clarity into your knowledge rather than confusion. Even at the cost of boring you, I'm repeating. One who knows everything doesn't clear CA. One who knows enough clears CA. So the smartness is in deciding what is necessary and what is unnecessary. And being thorough in the necessary, little bit aware of unnecessary. So again, it is not that you should be ignorant there, but you should have a little bit there, but thorough in what is necessary so that you won't miss out on what is necessary. 2 lakh, this is an exam question. I have not set it. Boss, if I said it's going to be tougher, my assignment was there. Maybe we'll work it out today. If I said it will be tougher than this, thank God I'm not studying. Rupees 2 lakh received from Mr. Tejas, who is drawing annual salary 1,50,000. Not a deposit. Because the amount received by the company is No, it is a deposit. Sorry. The amount received by the company exceeds the annual salary. Therefore, it is a deposit. Of course, there could be one more view. I will not say it is wrong. Okay? Correct. For Tejas, I can argue that, see, up to 1,50,000, it is not a deposit. Beyond that, that 50,000 will be treated as a deposit. Nothing wrong. Though it is not given in the section, it is a reasonable inference. So the extent of up to the annual salary, not a deposit. Exceeding that, deposit. If you give such an argument, you will get marks in the exam. Nothing wrong. Okay. What I suggest, as the amount received by the company from Mr. Tejas is in excess of his annual salary by rupees 50,000, the amount will be treated as a deposit. It is submitted that the up to the annual amount of rupees 1,50,000 being up to the annual salary will not be a deposit. The remaining 50,000 will be a deposit. So they will give you full marks. Kyun? Because you know the subject. We are interpreting it. For that, a student cannot be penalized. No student will be penalized for interpreting. To the extent of the annual salary, it is exempted. Beyond that, deposit. Correct. All that you should write. One of the frequent complaints I have had when I'm correcting and when I'm seeing the comments given by the examiners is people are not writing elaborate answers. Okay. This is, you have to somehow see law paper. For those of you who are good at computation, you are good at accountancy, costing, mathematics for that matter, you're all mathematically minded people. You will find a lot of, because in maths, you can write 2 or 3 notations and then you say proved. In law, you can't do that. That approach won't work in law. In law, you have to write, English, write. Problem. Comment whether the following are deposits. Plus, all are exam questions. Nothing original. They have asked in the exam only. Very tricky, na? Let's see what your answer is for C. Amount received, amount of 3 lakh by a private company. Okay. See here, the amount has been given out of gift received from mother. So, let me see. I want your answers. I hope you have the book with you, the material with you, or something with you. Because I can't keep on going back and showing you. I can, but I won't. Pawan Kumar is like God. Because I cannot understand God, I cannot understand Pawan Kumar also. He has put C. What does he mean by C? I don't know. God moves in mysterious ways, which I am not able to fathom. Many people, I put them in God status. When I don't understand what they're doing, I say, you're God. Because most of us have a reason why we do things. Correct. Tanuji, why? Why? Because, see, for that, what you should do now, you should write this. Because what does it say here? Amount is not being given out of funds acquired by him by borrowing or accepting loans or deposits. So the reasoning is the amount received by a private company of rupees 3 lakhs by a private company from a relative out of gift received from them, from his mother, is not a deposit. Correct. Before that, you're right. The declaration should be given that it's not. Here, it is not from a out of borrowing or no. Mr. Manivan has given the correct answer. It's not a deposit since it is not borrowed or deposit. Yeah. Good shot. That's exactly how. Even Supreme Court judge cannot write one line, yeah. Yes, give reason. Only in faceless assessment, they can do that. Faceless assessment is baseless. You know what they'll do? They'll put some nonsense, whatever they send mails and all. Then I would have given 30-page reasoned answer with all the case laws that they will misprint it and put it without even reading. I would have given case laws. I would have argued. I would have elaborately discussed the provisions of the law to show that the amount cannot be assessed as an income in the hands of my client. Finally, they will then one line they will put, I do not agree with the views expressed by the Assize representative. Therefore, the amount is added. That's all. Why you are not agreeing? What is it that what is your counter argument? Nothing. But you are not Deputy Commissioner of Income Tax. You are writing CA in the exam. So you have to give reasoning. Without reasoning, of course, once it goes to appeal, that is the end of it for him. In appeal, I will kill him. Because their first thing I'll say is reasonable opportunity was not given. Everything I said has been ignored. Then I'll fall at the feet of the CID commissioner and say, boss, now you look at it. Then he will read it and say, you have given so much information. Why it has not been considered by him? Exactly, Your Honor, please pass an order in my favor. CID appeal will win. I'm giving this example to show you. So you might ask me, sir, why are you telling to write? Because when you go, if you're going to tax practice, you should be good at drafting, logic, reasoning, applying sections, applying case laws. Forget company law. Company law is useless subject. Take income tax. You're all going to become authority in income tax. There also same skill is needed. Beautiful. Beautiful. Slowly, you're all starting to type more and more. I'm so happy for you. Mr. R gives an unsecured loan of 5 lakhs to the company on 19/6/2020. Hello, brothers and sisters. Here, see the date. So what is the important point? An amount received from a person who at the time of giving of the amount was a director of the company. At the time he was not. He becomes 3/7 only. Okay. Some of you might say, sir, we are now in 2025. You are still showing 2020. Hello, how easy it is for me to take 0 and put 5, yeah? I'm giving a clue. Many questions in the exam are repeated. All I need to do is change the name, change the amount, change the date. That's all. Simple as the same. Repeats are there. Heavy repeats are there. Correct. Kushi Gupta, super. Amount by Mr. R shall be treated as deposit since at the time of receipt of such amount, Mr. R was not a director. Beautifully said. Tanuja Vishwakarma, the amount received by R is not because at that time. See, now you got it. Beautiful, sir. Beautiful. Wonderful. Now, we are saying goodbye to acceptance or deposit definition, and we move on to what's the time of 8 quickly run. Anyway, let's see. Because we have to do charges also. Eligible company definition. Sir, somewhere you please remember the section. I will be happy. 76(1) right with rule 2 only. Eligible company. Eligible company definition, remember, because again and again they are testing you. 100 crores net worth, not less than 100 crores. Turnover, not less than 500 crores. Very important word, very, very important. Or, that means what? Even if one condition is satisfied, it is eligible. If it is under, that means both have to be satisfied. Like small company, for that both have to be satisfied. For small company definition, it is and, whereas here it is or. Or means it is enough if one condition is satisfied. Okay, keep that in mind, Your Honors, while getting into the problems. Similarly, out of your syllabus 181C, but unfortunately, it has a link here. Under 181C, if the amount to be borrowed together with the amounts already borrowed exceeds paid up capital and free reserves of the company, then you have to pass a special resolution. Yaad rakh dijiye, please. Suppose they give you information, then that also has to be taken. I doubt if institute gives even such complicated questions. Yeah, the questions are all fairly straightforward. I mean, seriously. They won't twist it that much also. I've not seen them twisting it. Okara Limited or Okra Limited, I don't know, having a net worth of 110 crore and a turnover of 450 crore wants to accept deposits from the public. So this question is straightforward. Is it an eligible company? So what you need to do is definition of eligible company. Write it. Then apply it. So 100, 500. Here turnover is less than 500, but net worth is more than 100. Therefore, some of you are writing answer for the earlier one. Good. So even if one condition is satisfied, it is enough. So what you need to do, you need to write, okay, the eligible company ka definition. So Okra Limited is an eligible company. It is a deposit because net worth exceeds 1 crore, 100 crore. No, madam. It is an eligible company. Deposit comes later. It can accept deposits. It can accept deposits because it is an eligible company. It is an eligible company because although its turnover is less than 500 crore, its net worth is more than, not less than 100 crores. Therefore, so you have to argue, you have to write like that. Eligible company definition. In the given case, the turnover of Okara Limited is less than 500 crore. Nevertheless, the net worth is more than 100 crore. And since the section uses the word or, even if one condition is satisfied, it is enough. Therefore, in the given case, Okara Limited is an eligible company, and therefore it can accept deposits from the public. So much you have to write, yeah. Ayyo, boring, no? Ayyo. Yeah. I want you to give the answer. Good show. You are all writing very well. If you write a little about that or, na, you'll get more marks. Because that means that you have more depth. You are aware that the or is important. Tolstoy's Limited net worth. Paid up share capital and free reserves is given. Note it, Your Honors, please note it. Paid up share capital and free reserves is given. See, they have not given you the amount of existing loans. Also, security premium is not a free reserve, but it is to be included for calculating net worth. So here again, the net worth is more than 100. Therefore, good old NOP limited. Do you remember? Same, there's a double question. I've split it and giving here. Production of premium quality glass bottles. According to financial results, as on 31/3/2023, net worth of the company was 90 crore and turnover was 510 crore. Ulta. Net worth is less than 100, but turnover is more than 500. Okay. Whether the company was eligible to accept? Yes, they are. So the company proposed to accept deposits on 1st February, which should be due for repayment on 30th September 28. So, how many months? Calculate. That we will see later. Tenure we will see later. Tenure we will see later. As of now, eligible company. Now, this is the limit for accepting deposits now. Ineligible company, only from members you can accept. Sir, ineligible, 73. 73 deals with ineligible company. They can accept from members up to 35% of PC plus FR. Paid up capital and free reserves and securities premium. For calculating, for this purpose, we'll include security premium. Normally, security premium is not part of free reserve, but here you'll include. Eligible company also 35, but from public it can accept 25, member 10. Got it? So sublimit is there, members 10%. From public 25. Whereas ineligible company entire 35 from members only. Eligible government company 35% either from members or from. Okay. Let's see what answer you're given for NOP. Correct. Most of you have given the correct answer. Good show. See, if you actively write the answer now, it will be good for you. If you give the answer. This is the best revision that can ever happen to you. Believe me, by attending this revision classes, those who attended these revision classes, I assure you, you'll get 50. I'll assure you, you'll get 50. You'll be very surprised. Beyond 50 is yours. Up to 50, this revision will get you. Me and other faculty, together we will give you. Because we are going to grill you on the important aspects of exam. Thereafter, you go and read the entire material also. I have no problem here. I will not prevent you. So this is net worth. Paid up capital. Friends, please note, not only here, wherever paid up share capital is mentioned, here, buyback, wherever, it includes preference capital also. See, you might say, I know all that, man. Don't tell me like that. Correct. In the exam, you'll forget. So many people have made mistake. They will take equity capital. Both have to be taken. For paid up capital, both have to be taken. If they want paid up equity, very specifically in buyback, they will say 25% of paid up equity capital. Where they want it, they will say paid up equity. Otherwise, it includes preference also. All reserves created out of profits plus debit or credit balance in P&L account. Suppose debit balance means negative, you have to reduce it. And security premium account. See here, they are not telling free reserves because free reserves ka definition hai. What is that? Free reserves which are available for declaring dividend. So total of accumulated losses, etc., should be reduced. The net worth does not include revaluation reserve or amount credited due to write back of depreciation, notional. If there may be a capital reserve on amalgamation, that should not be considered for net worth. Turnover definition, I'm just giving it for your information. Okay, quickly let's Deposit repayment reserve account. Just as you had debenture repayment reserve, you have deposit repayment reserve also. 20, not less than 20% of the amount of deposits maturing during the following financial year. So what you should do, you should see what are the deposits maturing during the next financial year up to 31st March. See, on the 15th of April or so, you should see before 31st March, what are the deposits maturing value amount. On that 20%, you have to create a DRR, DEPRR, because DRR is debenture redemption reserve. I'll call this DEPRR, DEPRR, deposit repayment reserve. Very important, deposit repayment reserve account shall be utilized only for repayment of deposits. Right. So very simple question, 2 marks. You should write deposit repayment reserve according to Rule 13. 735 read with Rule 13. Deposit repayment reserve should be utilized only for repayment of deposits. Therefore, Samay Publishing Limited is not permitted, is not justified to use the funds lying in deposit repayment reserve account for paying off its short-term creditors who are pressing hard for repayment. Whatever they might press, you cannot use DEPRR, because DEPRR is to be used for repayment of depositors. That's their money. Don't touch it. See, this premature repayment of deposits, I'm quickly covering it because it may have an impact. Correct. Absolutely correct, sir. They are not allowed to use DRR funds. Please also remember how the DEPRR is calculated. They might ask you a question on that also. So they might give you deposits maturing before the 31st March. So on that, you have to calculate 20%. And that should be deposited on or before 30th of April. Okay. So premature repayment possible. But the rate of interest shall be 1% less than the rate which would be payable. Reduction of rate is not applicable in the case of premature repayment in compliance with limitation on quantum of deposits. See, when your net worth is going down, you have to reduce the deposits. Quantum, you have to reduce based on limitation. Then you have to give him full interest and do it. But if he is asking for it, then he will be prematurely. He deposited for 3 years. Now the donkey wants it in within 24 months. You are allowed to reduce 1%. Or if it is a national defense services, they want premature repayment in a war crisis, then you have to give it. No, you have to pay the full interest. For the purpose of this rule, where the period for which deposit or rent contains any part of a year, then if such part is less than 6 months, it shall be excluded. And if such part is 6 months or more, it shall be reckoned as 1 year. So before June, if you're taking, then before June, then that part will be ignored, shall be excluded. If you cross it, then it will be taken as 1 year. I don't know why they have given this provision. It is there, and I have explained it to you. So where any eligible company permits a depositor to renew before the expiry, the company shall, before the expiry, okay, the company can pay the higher. See, suppose the interest rates are going up. So somebody may want to prematurely close and renew it. They will renew it at a higher rate. You can pay the higher rate, provided the deposit is renewed in accordance to the provisions of this rule and for a period longer than the unexpired period. Simple example. Mr. A deposited for 36 months. Deposit, 36 months deposit. 15 months later, he finds interest rate is going. So he wants to renew it at a higher interest rate. But he wants to do it only for another 18 months. Impossible. Because the remaining portion, how much? At the end of 15 months, he's asking out of 36 months. So 21 months is there now. So he should renew it for at least 21 or 24. The period of renewal, unexpired portion. So you have to tell him, sir, we will renew. But minimum, you have to keep it for 24 months, minimum. So that, because we have only 24, 36, 12. So we can't give you 21 and all. So 24. It should be more than the unexpired period. Okay. See, questions can be asked in these areas. They are all potential areas for asking questions. You should know them well. The period or tenure it is less than 6 months, not exceeding 36 months. But less than 6 months you can, but that should not exceed 10% of the aggregate of PC plus FR and security premium, and should be repayable not earlier than 3 months. See, for extreme short-term requirements, you can borrow. To meet the short-term requirements, you can take less than 6 months, but it should not be more than 10% of PC plus FR plus security premium, and that should be repayable not earlier than 3 months. So you can't use this as short-term money market. Minimum interest. So dolls and toys, wanted to accept deposits with repayment period of 4 months. Can they do? Provided it is for short-term requirement. 4 months is okay, they can accept it. Urgent need of funds, that's very important for a contract. So they are having short-term requirement. Lastly, whenever you are having secured deposits, you should create a charge. We will be seeing charge today because we can go till 9:30. I will finish charge also. We are going to see charge. When I come to charge, I'll tell you what is a charge, how to create a charge. Basically, charge is when any asset of the company is being offered as a security, a charge is created. Such a charge has to be registered with the ROC. In addition to any other registration or recognition by the other law, it also should be registered with the registrar of companies. So when they say creation of a charge, they are talking about registration with the ROC. So when you're having secured deposits, you should create a charge by offering assets of the company as security. But the charge should be on tangible assets. You cannot include intangible assets. The charge should be created on only tangible assets, which means fixed assets, current assets. These are all tangible. Copyright, intangible. Trademark, intangible. Even if you have purchased the trademark, it is appearing in the balance sheet. There is a valuation. Sorry. Company shall ensure that the total value of the security, either by way of deposit insurance or by way of charge, or by both, shall not be less than the amount of deposits accepted. But the assets should not be intangible. It should be on specific movable property or specific immovable property. Intangible assets should not be considered. Deposits that are not secured shall be referred to as unsecured deposits in all circulars and communications. So, on 30th June 2023, Sunrise Infratech Limited, a public limited company, raised secured deposits amounting to 160 crore. They want to pay interest at 12% per annum, repayment after 3 years. Company created charge in favor of the trustees over the following assets. Check. You are required to examine the validity of the charge. So they have created a charge on the following assets. The amount they have taken is 160 crore. Amount borrowed is so. Any answers? Correct. Your point is well taken. Kushiji, your point is well taken. So what is your conclusion? See, you have to write all this was, whether you like or not. You have to write everything. Or at least you should write this, this, this. Okay. Then you should say in the instant case, the amount of us, the value of assets excluding intangible is only 110 plus 30, 140 plus 20. I'm sorry, 110 plus 30, 140 plus 20, 160. Excluding. Amount to be borrowed, 160. Is it correct? So 160, 160 now. Please note, the total value of the security by way of shall not be less than the amount of deposits accepted and the interest payable thereon. Beautiful. I didn't want to tell that. Do you notice that? I didn't stress this. Stress the point. Pooja has got it correctly. Charge is not valid since amount of tangible property is less than loan and interest. Anyone, sir, please note, interest also should be covered. Friends, this is exactly what I'm worried about. In the exam, if you write what you have written, you will not get marks. You have to write like this. According to Rule 6 of the Deposits Acceptance Rules, deposits may be secured. If so, charge shall be properly created, etc. Very important. You have to even underline this if you want. Write it. Then you have to say, in the instant case, Sunrise Infratech is going to borrow 160 crore together with interest at 12% per annum. So, interest on 160 crore for 3 years. Interest on 160 crore for 3 years. Correct? Together with interest on 160 crore for 3 years. The total amount comes to 217.6. 217.6. That is 160 plus 160 into 12% into 3. This comes to 217.6, which is greater than 160, which is the value of the assets. Therefore, the charge, see, it is not secured. To the extent of the interest element, it is not secure. So it is an unsecured deposit. The charge is not validly created. You should create a charge on amount of deposit and the interest payable thereon. Correct. See, we have completed acceptance and deposits. Give me 5 minutes to have a cup of coffee and come. Throat is parched. In the meantime, permit me to also open charges. We will be seeing registration of charges. In the meantime, if you have any other doubts also, you can ask me. Ask the GK doubt. I'm humbly requesting time. Even Ravan was given time by Ramchandra Murthy. Give this Ravan one day, not till Friday. That question I will answer because I didn't come prepared for it. What is the doubt she is asking? filing of circular, it is written that file a copy of circular containing this 30 days before the date of issue of circular. If date of filing is 25 May, then what is the last date for filing with registrar? Oh, like that. Madam, 30 days before you are filing. So calculate. Go back 25th from 25th May. Count, not including 25th May. Hello, if you are worried about that, don't include 25th May. Start counting back from 24th May. Let me see. 24th May. Go back 30 days. Before that, you should have filed the person. Oh, I hope it's a fairly simple question. Question is whether you should include 25th May. No. After 30 days, you should release. 30 days, you should release. Okay. See, you count 30. Whichever date you get, on that day you can. From that day, count 30 days. Next day only you can release I go for the filing. So you have to file it with the registrar 30 days before the date of issue of circular. Then only can issue the circular. The reason is simple. The registrar will go through it and he should have time to respond and say corrections and all. That's okay. So that is called registration of the circular. Just like prospectus, this circular is also a public document. Anybody can see it. No. See, again, Asta, don't get angry with me. You are entitled to ask questions. I'm more worried about ability to answer questions. See, throughout this exercise, you have not given any answers. Maybe you are angry with me, so you are not giving. It's okay. But try to give one or two answers. Okay? Then I'll be very. So I hope I have answered that question also. If you want exact date, then I'll count back. Let me take the calendar. 25th May month. 25th. See, point is 25th, I will not include. That is important. It so happens 25th of May this year was a Sunday. It's okay. So, okay. 25th of April, Friday, you should file it. Thereafter, 30 days. Sorry, 24th of April, you have to file it. Thereafter, 30 days, 24th. 25th, you can issue. 25th May, you can issue. Okay. If you want to issue on 25th May, you can. Okay. Just give me 5 minutes to go and have a cup of coffee. And I will come back. Then we'll do charges and with that. 24, because 24 you count 30 days, you'll come to 24th May. Because 30 days in April, that is May. And then 25th May, you can release the circular. Okay. Okay, I'm having a small break. Sir, small break, sir. Okay, 5 minutes. Sir, can we start? Welcome back from your well-deserved break. There are no as such questions and absolutely no questions in the query bank. Nothing. I don't know why I am even keeping it open. Sorry, my throat is gone. It's part of the game, life. This is nothing, sir. Once upon a time, when I was actively teaching, I was teaching in private coaching in those days, 1997 to 2012. That time, whenever I was a faculty for private coaching. Then I felt disgusted and I stopped. Then our institute gave me this wonderful opportunity. I thank the Board of Studies to serve the institute and to serve the students. And this LVRC, live virtual revision classes, or LVC, is being given free of cost. Students should take benefit. So many students I'm meeting across the country when I travel. I have student in Ayodhya, one girl. I bless her. And Ramchandramurthy will bless her. Kirti, she will be blessed. Such people are there. There is one boy called Chaitanya in Dhule. Blessed boy. He's such a brilliant boy. They keep in touch with me. Maharashtra mein, Uttar Pradesh mein, Uttarakhand mein hai. Everywhere. Kashmir mein hai. Srinagar mein hai. Kanyakumari, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh. Yesterday, last week in Vijayawada, I met one boy. He is a 40th rank holder last intermediate exam. And I was conducting orientation program for them. And suddenly during the break, he came. It so happens it was Guru Purnima day. He came and he gave a small pen, which I really value. And my brother, I said, why? He said, sir, I attended your live virtual classes. Not even attended. Boy has downloaded my lectures and listened and used my notes. Literally, he's like Eklavya. Of course, I'm not Dronacharya. I won't, never. I bless everybody. And I want you to clear. Okay, so why I'm saying don't miss this opportunity. Don't go and waste money on coaching when institute is providing it so usefully to you. Okay, so very good. And I was so happy. The boy got all India 43. I asked him, which coaching did you go? I said, no, sir. He said, I'm a poor man. I have no money to go for coaching. I attended live virtual classes of the institute, including Akka lecture, and I benefited. When I saw you here, I was shocked. On Guru Purnima, I'm meeting my Guru. So I took your blessings. Be blessed. So what I'm trying to tell you is, do it and write well and clear the exam. Okay. Costly coaching cannot help you clear. Good preparation, smart preparation, understanding expectation of the institute and planning accordingly and preparing, sure success. That is what a faculty should do also. See, most of the time in my lectures, people sometimes will get angry. The student who wants everything to be taught will get angry. But a student who wants to clear the exam will benefit. So we go to registration. Boss, this is a very complicated topic, not frequently tested, rarely tested. But some topics in this area are important, which we are going to see with problems. Okay, so meaning of charge, kinds of charges we will see. Due dates and all, satisfaction. Section 83 is very important. We'll see that. Charge is an interest or lien. Definition only I'm giving. It is created on the property or assets of a company or on any of its undertaking. See, charge can be created on intangible assets. In acceptance and deposit, specifically they said Rule 6. For securing a deposit, you cannot create a charge on intangibles. But otherwise, you can create charge on intangible asset also. Any property or asset, tangible or intangible. The charge is created as a security for repayment of a loan. charge includes a mortgage. Because to understand this one sentence, one phrase, you should be an authority in transfer of property. Because there in transfer of property, charge is defined separately. And there it says does not include a mortgage. Therefore, here they say includes a mortgage. Absolutely not relevant from the exam point of view. This is simply telling. In simple terms, Hasan Basha, in simple terms, where any asset of the company is given as security for a loan, whether by way of mortgage or otherwise, a charge is said to be created. Okay. Why they can't use this definition in the Companies Act? No. It's too simple now. It's too easy to understand now. No. Where any asset of the company is given as security for a loan, whether by way of mortgage or a charge is created. Once a charge is created, it has to be registered under the Companies Act. Procedure is there. Non-registration is a fine. Why it should be registered, we will see. Two types of charges are there: fixed charge, floating charge. Okay. Now, let's come back to this. Fixed charge is the charge on specific assets. Assets are identified at the time of creation of charge. Very important. Many times people will write, what is fixed charge? Fixed charge is the charge on fixed assets. Floating charge is the charge on floating assets. Kya baat hai yaar? What answer is that? Fixed charge is the charge on specific assets identified at the time of creation of the charge. When a charge is created on such assets, the charge remains fixed, and the borrowing company is not permitted to sell the assets. Assets, and these are not my words. They are the words of my guru, the great Professor K. Sanantharaman. An idiot like me cannot write such great English. And these are the words of my guru, Professor K. Sanantharaman. I salute him today. Assets under fixed charge can be sold only with the permission or consent of the charge holder. A fixed charge is vacated when the money borrowed against the asset is repaid in full. So, specific asset identified at the time of creation of the charge, company cannot deal with the assets, it cannot sell. So, or if at all it sells, it will be sold subject to the charge. It has to get permission of consent of the charge holder. Even then, when the asset is sold, it will be subject to the charge if it is sold with the charge. Floating charge is created on assets which are fluctuating, a class of assets which are fluctuating or changing in nature. So floating charge is created on assets or class of assets. Example, raw material, stock in trade debtors. See, these are only examples here. I cannot create a float. But if you say I cannot create a floating charge on land, I'll be a fool. I'll tell you why. Suppose I'm a real estate company. My stock in trade is land. Are you able to understand the difference? Where my stock in trade is land and I create a charge on all the land which I have in my land bank. That is a floating charge. I have the right to sell any specific land. But by and large, all the land which I hold is charged. Unlike a fixed charge, the assets offered as security can be dealt with by the company. The buyer of the asset will get it free of charge. Rarely have I seen real estate company offering floating charge on land. Usually it's a fixed charge. But yet sometimes I've seen where bank will give the right to sell. But very risky. Because suppose he sells everything. That risk is always there in floating charge. Even for stock in trade. Suppose the fellow sells all the money, doesn't deposit in the bank, takes it home. One fine morning you come and enforce. So when the creditor enforces the security, what will happen? The floating charge will become a fixed charge on all the assets available on that date, on which may come into existence thereafter. This is called crystallization of a floating charge. But there are many smart operators in there. They will sell everything. Recently it happened. One fellow in Hyderabad, he did that. Rascal, he sold everything. Took on credit, sold everything, ran away. When the creditors go and enforce security, what security? Nothing. Only 3 vertical lines on the forehead. Okay. So, now look at this question. It's a very straightforward question. Aadhar Limited and Mittal Limited both took loans from different banks and provided security. Aadhar Limited mortgaged its factory building and machinery, while Mittal pledged its stock in trade, raw materials and accounts receivable. Specify the type of charges created in both cases. Is this a problem question? in the examination, you will be given 3 different types of questions. One is pure theory. What are the charges risk? What are the types of charges? Or write short notes on fixed charge and floating charge. That's a straight theory. Institute will not demean itself to ask such questions. Institute wants application-oriented questions. Or they might ask you something like this, which will have some name, shame and all, but basically it's a theory question. This is the same question I can ask in one line. What are the types of charges? Discuss the various types of charges which can be created by a company. That's all. Instead, they have given you some elaborate Aadhaar limited, meter limited, blah, blah. Bottom line, this is the answer. The charge created by Aadhaar limited on factory building and machinery is a fixed charge. A fixed charge on fixed specific, blah, 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 blah. The charge created by metal limited is a floating charge. A floating charge is a charge created on assets which are blah, 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 blah. This is the expected answer. You can't write one-line answer for this. Specify the type of charges. Simply you write Aadhaar limited, fixed charge, metal limited, floating charge. For 3 marks, I'll give you half mark. Are you able to understand? Justify your answer rate of relevant provisions of the Companies Act. Actually, nowhere the Companies Act we talk about fixed charge, floating charge. Nowhere. Nowhere it's mentioned. Actually, no section. Straight away we go to registration. Compulsory registration of a charge. The asset being charged may be situated in India or outside India, movable or immovable, tangible or otherwise. Now the real point is, why registration? Because once you register a charge with the registrar of companies, it becomes a public document. The doctrine of constructive notice will apply. What does that mean? It means if any creditor or lender is proposing to lend to this company, that gentleman or company is jolly well expected to make inspection of the registrar. Company need not inform them because doctrine of constructive notice, any document filed with the registrar and made a public document, the other party is deemed to have knowledge. Are you able to understand? That is why registration of a charge is compulsory. If you don't register, then doctrine won't apply. You are cheating. You are creating a charge and not registering it to the registrar. Therefore, stiff penalty. That is why registration of charge is compulsory. Okay. You can create a charge on tangible or otherwise, intangible also. What happens if the charge is not registered? We'll come to that. What has to be filed? Form number CHG1 for other than debentures. CHG9 for debentures. It is a form. You and I as chartered accountants don't worry about form. Minimum form number, if you know, it is enough. Even that they don't specifically ask. As part of procedure answer, you might write. These forms and all, not for us. They are for companies, secretaries to fill up and file. And for us. Okay. We are chartered accountants. We don't have to know form, intent of form, how to fill. Okay. Maybe in the practice, when you go to articleship, your principal, when you're doing, you might have done great. Your knowledge is great. You know which form, what form. Daily they change the form. Every other day, wake up in the morning, they have to change the form. I can't keep remembering everything. Form is the form, yeah. It's not some esoteric secret. Rather, the principle you should know. Okay. The instrument creating charge shall be verified by or under the seal of the company, etc. Okay. Now, even a modification of a charge has to be registered. Any variations in the terms and conditions. If a company is acquiring any charge, property subject to charge. See, there is a mortgage. I'm buying the property subject to the mortgage. I'm taking over the mortgage. That means what? I'm acquiring the land and building subject to charge. I'm a company. Once I acquire it, either the earlier charge should be vacated. That was in the name of the old company now. That should be vacated, satisfied, shown as satisfied, closed, and a new charge should be registered by the acquiring company. Okay. where a charge is duly registered, a certificate of registration should be given. Okay, in CHD 2. In case of modification, CHD 3. Okay. Certificate shall be conclusive evidence. Tomorrow, nothing can be questioned. One certificate issued is issued also. Now, is a they could ask a question like this: pure theory. Explain the provisions of the Companies Act in respect of inspection of register of charges and instrument of charges. See, instrument creating the charge is nothing but the document evidencing the creation of security. It could be a mortgage deed, could be a hypothecation agreement, it could be a loan agreement, sanction letter, whatever, memorandum of deposit of title deeds, whatever. That's called instrument creating the charge or instrument of charge. Once you register the charge with the registrar, it will be updated in the register of charges. Okay. Now that register of charges can be inspected. It can be inspected by anybody on payment of a fee. It can be inspected by anybody on payment of it. It's a very, very short and sweet line actually. Okay. Inspection of register. Instrument of charge also can be inspected. See, the register of charges and the instrument of charge can be inspected. In section 85(2) of the Companies Act, the register and shall be open for inspection by any member or creditor without any payment. Any other person on payment of a fee, subject to reasonable conditions, as the company may buy its articles and those. So, according to section 85(2), am I correct? The register of charges can be inspected, right? Before I go to consequence of non-registration, correct, Mr. Manivandan, you have given the answer correctly, but you have to write elaborately on that. Expectation is like that. What to do? Okay, I hope you understood my point. The expectation is that you will write fixed charge, floating charge. Right, remember this, these two slides, and write, get full marks. Okay. Now, we ask that question, now what will happen if the charge is not registered? Okay, they use a very esoteric wording. The charge will become void as against the liquidator and other creditors of the company. What does that mean? Though that person is a secured creditor, his security will not be there because it is not registered in the register of companies. He may have a mortgage deed, but as far as the liquidator is concerned, I am the liquidator, I will treat him as unsecured creditor. As far as the liquidator is, and the other creditors also will not treat him as secured. They will treat him as unsecured. So, even though the mortgage is registered, the charge will become, security is not available. He loses his security. My God. Secured creditor whose charge is not registered loses his security. Of course, the debt is not disputed. The company has to pay, but he cannot enforce his security. Sorry. Very, very bad. But what to do? He can only file a suit like anybody else or join the long queue of unsecured creditors. See, to explain this long queue, I have to tell one story. I don't have time. Normal class, I will tell. When I'm regular classes of charges, I will tell. But here I cannot tell. But basically, it's easy now. If the charge is not registered, he loses his security. So the real sufferer is the charge holder. Therefore, if the company fails to register the charge may be registered with the charge holder. In which case, he will be entitled to recover any fees or additional fees, etc., paid by him. Further, it may be noted that failure shall not absolve a company from its liability. Also, it has to pay the penalties under this law. Okay. Can the charge holder apply? Yes. First stage, company must register. If the company fails to do so within 30 days, then the charge holder may apply. Then the registrar will give notice to the company. Because after all, without the company is concerned, they can't. If the company keeps quiet, everything is closed, then proceed. Within period of 14 days, the registrar will register. If objection is received, then the company should either register itself or give sufficient cause why the charge should not be registered. In which case, registrar will not allow the registration. Okay. 78. Charge created on or before, don't worry. See, this is where you have to be very, very careful. Should I read all this and remember why? Because 2018, long ago, 10 years is going to get over. Yeah. They gave 300 days. That 300 days also over. So ignore. This is the only relevant. Charge created on or after 2/11/2018. These are all existing charges which were present on the date of notification. That they are given a special provision. Today, if you are creating a charge, this section only applies. You have to register the charge within 30 days of creation. See, there are students who will ask doubt in this area. I have in the class. They will ask, not realizing that it is no longer relevant. Charge created on or after 2/11/2018. You have to register the charge within 30 days of creation. Compulsory. Sir, 30 days we have not registered, sir. Our company secretary was not well, sir. What to do, sir? Then register it in next 30 days. So 60 days from date of creation. But this time you have to pay additional fees. Sir, now also company secretary was having problems, sir. We could not do it, sir. Only company secretary, nobody else. The company secretary would have told MD. MD would have said, no, we can't do it. No time, go. What to do? The company secretary keep quiet. He'll call the auditor and he will tell me, sir, they are telling like this. I will call the MD and say, Srikanth, you don't know the problems we have. Where will I find the money for the fees? You know, some nonsense. So not registered within the next 30 days also. Now, you can still register within further period of 60 days. But you have to pay ad valorem fees. Up to here, it is a fixed fee based on authorized capital. 2,000 rupees, like that. But from now on, it is ad valorem. Once you cross that 30 plus 30, 60 plus 60, you have crossed 60 days. Now you want to do it. Another 60 days given to you. Totally 120 days. But for the second 60 days, the last further period, ad valorem. So if the charge is 300 crore, you have to pay 1%, like that. Amount is more. So the MD who was advised to register within 30 days, if he had done it, simple fee would have finished it. The idiot, because he kept on postponing, now he's ended up with ad valorem. Huge amount. Then he'll come to me and ask, what, Srikanth, you didn't advise me. I said, see my email dated 16th June. Very clearly, I've advised you. Yes, you're registered. What to do now? I said, what to do now? Pay. Go and pay. What the bank will do, they are smart. Once 60 days expires, they know for sure this fellow is not going to do it. So they will register with ad valorem fees and they will debit your account. It's all. Matter over. He is entitled to do that. Recover from any ad valorem fee also. Okay. Now, you might go to the tribunal and you might get it condoned, delayed. Thereafter, the charge will be registered. But if in the meantime, another charge has been validly registered, that charge will get priority over this charge. Though, see, if you look at this problem, you will understand. Bank A has advanced rupees 1 crore to Akash Limited against the security of the company's land and building at Mulund. Charge was created by deposit of title deeds on 1st June 2019. Charge was created by deposit of title deeds, MODD, etc. But this company did not register the charge within 30 days. Subsequently, the charge was registered on 13th August after payment of ad valorem fees. Because, June. So 60 days over, another 60 days. Within that, you have to pay ad valorem fees and pay. In the meantime, Bank B advanced 2 crores to Akash Limited on 20th June. Okay. That charge was duly registered on 27th June. What? Yeah. See, but what to do? Whose fault is it? I would say only Bank A. Because you should be sharp. The minute you advance to this donkey company, immediately you should have registered the charge and then charged. Instead, you kept quiet. And then in the meantime, Bank B has advanced. Now the point is, subsequently, Akash Limited goes into not liquidation, insolvency. Or liquidation or what? Property releases only 2 crores. How much you have given? Bank A has given 1 crore. Bank B has given 2 crore. No 2 crore. Now, Bank A can say, my charge is the prior charge. It was created on 1st June. Sorry. Can Bank B say, my charge? Yes. First Bank B will be paid. Then only Bank A. Because Bank B charge was registered before Bank A's charge was registered. So date of creation of charge is not important. Date of registration only important. So Bank B will get 2 crore. Bank A nothing. Okay. So we've already seen all this. I don't want to waste your time. Also satisfaction of charge. Okay. Once the charge is fully settled or adjusted, company should give an intimation in CHE4 within 30 days. If not intimated, the registrar may allow giving of intimation within 300 days on payment of prescribed additional fees. Up to 300 days they give. Once the information of satisfaction is given by the company, it will send a notice to holder of charge to show cause. If cause is shown, then the registrar will record a note and shall inform the company. If no cause is shown, then the registrar will register the satisfaction, issue a certificate of registration of satisfaction in Form CHG5. Okay. Where CHG4 is signed by the holder of charge, see, usually that's what we do. We get signature from both the company and the holder of the charge and file it. Then no need for intimation. Straight away the satisfaction will be recorded. This is registration of satisfaction of charge. Very important. Frequently tested in the exam. Okay. Suppose the company is not intimating. Can the registrar make entries with respect to satisfaction and release of charges, even if no intimation has been received by him from the company? When this will happen? Sir, your company is buying a property, sir, on which State Bank of India has given a loan. Charge was created with the registrar, Pakka registered, blah, blah. Once we took over what we did, we directly repaid State Bank of India. Right? Now, the minute we repaid State Bank of India, this donkey company should have registered within 30 days, blah, blah. Fellow does not do it. Now, you have acquired the property, charge is still there. So, you are the third party, boss. You have to register now in your company's name before, if any loan is there. Otherwise, this property is subject to charge. Therefore, you have to release that charge. So, you have to intimate. No other go. 83 provides for that. In case of any registered charge, if evidence is shown to the satisfaction of the registrar, the debt has been satisfied in whole or in part. On the part of the property or undertaking has been released. So some documentation. Usually we'll give NOC from the bank that they have no objection to that. Then immediately the registrar will do it. Okay. The registrar will inform all the affected parties in case they have any objection within 30 days of making the entry in the register. Then the registrar will issue CHG5 to the person making the application. Okay. So this is the 83. Now this is a straightforward theory question. What are the powers of the registrar to make entries of satisfaction and release of charges in the absence of any intimation? Discuss the matter in the rights of them. Friends, this is the answer. That's all. In fact, if you have my PowerPoints, my original PowerPoint, and you read it fully and go, I'm giving you ready-made answers. Or rather, the institute is giving you ready-made answers through me. You take it. Just write this. You will get full marks. Okay. Here is a problem. Let us see if you can answer it. Not a very frequently tested area. That's why we are doing it as part of one session. Whereas management and administration may need even 2 sessions. We are going to do it in one session. See, this is an elaborate, it looks like a practical problem. As if H limited, BQR limited, H, ABC bank. All that only Nam Karanam. Basically, theory question similar to this. Answer is the same. 4 marks means you have to write all this. You can't write one line. Yes. Under section 83, Mr. H can approach the registrar and seek relief. You will not get full marks. Are you able to understand, my dear friends? Don't get angry with me for telling this. But what to do, you tell me. This is a reality. You have to write. Without writing, you can't get marks. You got my point, right? Little more. Writing practice. Okay. Even if you are not using ink pen. See, I used to use fountain pens. Thick writing, nice fountain pens. I have a collection of fountain pens. Right from those days, I used to collect. When I was in CA and all, I used to collect pen. Smooth writing pens. Maybe you are all modern people, you don't use fountain pen. Today, fountain pen revival has happened. Many youngsters are using fountain pen. My son uses fountain pen only. He's only 25. He uses fountain pen. Right, sir? Don't use ball pen, yeah. Where it's not even writing properly, scratching, stretching. Why? Write a nice, smooth gel pen. Smoothly writing, nice, reasonably thick gel pen. Don't use medium fine. Use slightly thick, or at least use medium fine. So 0.6, 0.6 mm, 0.7 mm ideal. 1 will be too much. 1 mm will be too much. 0.7 mm. Minimum, don't use 0.5 mm. Yeah. Minimum 0.7 mm. So that legibility. Use black or blue ink. I know this sounds very silly to some of you. What we are, Mr. Srikanth, we are now in digital era, right? Exam is in paper now. On paper only now. Still it is on paper now. There. So writing should be good. See, the problem is a guy like me who's got good handwriting and good control over English has an edge in law paper, has an edge in auditing paper, has an edge in strategic management, whether we like it or not. Suppose that fellow is also good in computation. Suppose the fellow is also good in accountancy and costing. That's all. You have to be good in both. You can't say I'm good in computation, for which we worship you. You should also be good at writing. Fluency in verbalization, converting thought into words. So even there, if you're not very grammatical, they will exclude you. It's okay. We will excuse you if your grammar is not good, because you are not writing MA English literature paper. You are writing law paper or auditing paper. But the point should be there. These points should all be there. 1, 2, 3, all points should be there and answer should be there. This is what is expected from you while writing an answer. Please try to practice. After I teach you, you have chance. I have given 2 assignments. I request the Institute to Board of Studies to kindly upload it into the portal. Download those assignments. Write out. And check whether the answer is complete in the light of what I have told you. Evaluate yourself. Be your own worst critic. You will clear the exam. People who think they know everything only go and fail. People like me who are always worried, I don't know. We keep on improving ourselves. This is the secret of success. Many students have found, I know everything, sir. I know everything. You know everything, go pass. Why? Because we are not our own critic. So I will write out the answer first. Then I will correct. Oh my God, This sentence should be added. I will write it in red ink. I will never forget it. In the exam, I will write it. I am not talking to you as a teacher. I am talking to you as a fellow student, but except that in time, spatially we are together now. But chronologically, I wrote the exam, 35 years ago, 1987. 86. I wrote my intermediate in 86. Okay. But the situation is the same even today, Bas. Syllabus has changed, new law has come, old law is not there. So what? The pattern is still the same. MCQ will not solve your problem. MCQ is only going to create further problem. Okay? Don't think MCQ is a solution. MCQ is for a different purpose. For example, I'm a certified information systems auditor. There we use MCQ because there it's a different test. It's a test of practical knowledge. Does this fellow know or not? Like that. Simple questions will be asked. Whereas here it is elaborate logic, argument. You got it? See, as I told you, if you're going to prepare a submission for the CAT appeals, you cannot write one line. It's not multiple choice. Because you have to write paragraph after paragraph of logic and conclusion. So that also you should be prepared. See, chartered accountant is 3/4 advocate. Don't forget that. We are 3/4 advocate. We are not advocate because we don't know written, we don't know constitutional law. We don't know CRPC, CPC, IPC. That's all. But for that, you and I are 3/4 advocate. That's why up to tribunal you can argue. Up to tribunal you can argue. Chartered accountant is permitted to appear up to tribunal. Okay, so you're the same way that lawyers have verbalization skill, you and I should have. You're all now writing more, writing more. Mr. H can approach the registrar, not register, registrar, and seek relief without intimation from ABC. Beautiful, sir. Evidence is shown to the satisfaction to the registrar, then the debt has been settled, the registrar bank. Beautiful, sir. Just mentioned 1683. Excellent, sir. Madam, Mr. H shall not be absolved from his liability. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Answer given by Kushi Gupta, Manivandan sir, and others. Correct. Okay, beautiful. So proud of you all. I'm very happy. Of course, punishment is there. Broader question that many students ask in the regular classes is, should I remember penalty? To an extent, yes. To an extent, yes. Try to remember. It's too late now, but try to go through the penalty provisions and try to remember. Sometimes they ask you, but rarely they ask you. So these are all not very important. Just have included. Now I will open the floor for any questions on acceptance or registration. I also wanted to discuss assignments, but let us see if I can open. There is one interesting question that I will try. If I will open the document and let us see. Yeah, this is the assignment. Means you can also, I'm sure the institute would be more than happy to share it with you in the portal. So here, this is an elaborate assignment, case study based. This is case based. This is based on case study. So all I want you to do, my dear friend, is just look at this and tell me whether the company is eligible. Minimax Construction Limited is engaged in construction of large residential, etc., etc. They are having financial crunch. Ramchandra Gupta and his son Ashwin and Naveen, both of them want to accept deposit from the public. Okay, it's a public limited company. Now, is it eligible? Are you able to see the problem here? In the earlier problem, MTP-RTP, you got the number. The institute gave you the number. Here you have to compute the number. This will be the last problem. 5 or 6 minutes, 10 minutes. Beyond also we'll go. But I want answers from you. Question is very simple. There are many questions here, but I'm going to ask only one, which is third question. Is the company eligible? That's all. That's all I want you to answer. Of course, one line answer you can give. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So, excellent. See, paid up capital 22, general reserve, add general reserve 30, 70, correct? Security premium account can be considered. So 105 minus 1, 104. Because that P&L account has to be not considered. Now, revaluation reserve 5, not to be considered. Outside borrowing 50. So the company is eligible company. One more condition is there. Can you tell me what that is? How much you are going to accept now deposit? What is the maximum amount up to which company can accept? And what is the nature of the resolution to be passed? What is the maximum amount up to which the company can accept? Do you remember? What is the maximum amount up to which the company can accept deposits? And what is the nature of the resolution to be passed? See, Poojaji, what is your point? Either turnover exceeds 500 crore or net worth is more than 100 crore. Either or. So even though turnover is less than 500 crore, you can get. You are eligible because net worth is more than 100. It's on 4. It is not paid up in free reserve, sir. It is net worth. Net worth includes security premium also. Security premium is not free reserve. Good. Many of you have realized that it is a special resolution required because the amount that you can take is 35% of net worth, paid up capital, etc., etc. 35%, correct? So 35% would be 35% of 104, correct? Correct. Now, paid up capital and free reserves. Be careful. For 181C, only paid up capital and free reserves you have to take, which is you got 10 plus 12, 22, 30, 70. The security premium should not be considered. Okay. So 69. Now, already 50 hai. Plus now you are eligible to take how much? 104 into 35%. 36.4. So 36.4 plus 50, 80. So your borrowing will exceed your paid up capital and free reserve 69. Therefore, you have to pass a special resolution. Okay. So this is the point. Many of you have correctly identified. Kushi Gupta is giving a very nice, well-written answer. So happy. At the end of the session, I'm getting a very well-written answer. 35% of paid capital, 36.4. By passing special resolution in general meeting and filling this. Beautiful. Exactly. If further polish it and improve it, you will be able to get full marks in the exam. So I thank you all for a wonderful support, interaction. In spite of my sometimes blunt and rude behavior, you have been sportive enough to take it. But believe me, here in this role, I am not a teacher who is paid to satisfy you. I am a coach whose job is to make you clear the exam. Are you able to understand? Money cannot get you knowledge. Throwing money, you cannot assure yourself clearing the exam. But with respect to teachers and respect to the goddess Saraswati, reading with sincerity, your mind will be enlarged and you will be able to understand the question, give the right answer. For that, today I have given you some patterns, some approaches, some methods that will work. Okay. So, great, wonderful session. Thank you very much. Looking forward to similar revisionary sessions on other topics with your cooperation. At this stage, I take leave of you and I request Mr. Manish, I think, to end the session, sir. So, session ho gaya, sir. Thank you, Mr. Tanu. Thank you very much.